In the Empire State, there's been a rise in hate crimes targeting practicing Catholics. We'll explain. Just last week, 2 hate crimes targeting Our Lady of Mercy Catholic Church in Forest Hills with the destruction of 2 religious statues. Now one state assemblyman is joining religious leaders in their efforts to fight back and also investigate. Joining us to discuss, New York State Assemblyman Colin Schmitt. We're also joined by our panelists for this hour. Former Georgia Congressman Jack Kingston is here with us, as well as the host of All American Radio and a Newsmax contributor, Jennifer Kerns. Great to see everyone here today. Thank you, Assemblyman, for joining us. Could you talk to us about what you've heard from religious leaders about this rise in violence and property destruction?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on this morning. And the anti-Catholic hate crimes that have been occurring over the last several months are just completely unacceptable. And the Ancient Order of the Hibernians, the Knights of Columbus, and other religious organizations and leaders within the Catholic faith have called out local and state officials who are being silent on the matter, particularly Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio. We should be condemning all forms of religious intolerance and crimes against anyone of any faith. And for some reason, the Catholic faith has been ignored. The governor and the mayor have not publicly condemned these attacks, and Governor Cuomo has not activated the New York State Police Hate Crimes Task Force for crimes against Catholics. And again, we should be treating every faith equally, and a crime against any faith should have the same condemnation and should have the same access to state law enforcement resources that everyone else does.
And talk to me about these resources and also what this task force status could really mean. Would that amount to more resources or security available for these locations?
Absolutely. The New York State Police Hate Crimes Task Force is the best of the best in the country. They have extra resources, they have extra training and extra abilities to target hate crimes, both to investigate hate crimes that occur and to prevent them from occurring again in the future. And very frequently, unfortunately, they have to be dispatched by the governor to cases of hate crimes, whether it be religious hate crimes or in other instances. And that is certainly appropriate. But what is not appropriate is that they are not equally dispatched to anti-Catholic hate crimes. And in particular, some of these anti-Catholic hate crimes have occurred against churches that serve immigrant populations. One in Brooklyn that happened in late May targeted a church that specifically serves immigrant Catholic communities. So this is just something that, as a member of the Catholic faith and having many constituents who are concerned with any hate crime, we should treat them all equally, and they should get the Catholic faith should get the same respect, and we should be able to go after those who commit these horrible, horrendous attacks against the Catholic faith as much as any faith.
I'd like to bring in former Congressman Jack Kingston. Just, Jack, your reaction to what you're hearing again, this plea for these sort of resources that we might see for other hate crimes that's not being answered by the governor and the city's mayor.
Well, I'm very glad to see Assemblyman Schmitt taking the lead on this because institutional prejudice against the Catholic Church has been accepted by society. He's probably familiar with Philip Jenkins, who's written a book about the new anti-Catholic racism, and where he's pointed out in a school that you're not allowed to dress at a costume party as a wacky rabbi or a Muslim cleric. But if you come as a pregnant nun, it's hilarious. You win the contest. Similarly, if you're a practicing physician, the federal government is allowed to mandate to you to, under Obamacare, perform abortions or give abortion advice. That's allowed. It's institutionalized. It is systemic. You can do that against Catholics. You can't do that against other religions. Dianne Feinstein very famously asked a Supreme Court nominee, will your Catholic dogma get in your way? So we as a society have accepted discrimination against Catholics and the Catholic Church, and nobody bats an eye. So I'm very glad that Mr. Schmitt's doing what he's doing.
Okay, Jennifer Kerns, your thoughts on what you've heard in the story we're talking about now?
Yeah, this is part of a broader spew of hate crimes we see in and around New York City. And this is going to be part of Bill de Blasio's lasting record if he chooses to run for a higher office someday in 2024, perhaps on the presidential ticket. This is also on New York Governor Cuomo's record. We see hate crimes all around New York, whether it's against Asian Americans or against Catholics, as you see here This is part of the real problem, the real hate that Democrats are allowing to happen on their watch. You know, time and time again, we hear from Democrats that we need no hate. We all need to get along. But when it comes to the actual crimes being committed on the street, it's a much bigger story under these big city, blue city mayors.
Yeah, and then, of course, you wonder about accountability as well for those who commit the crimes, whether that is indeed happening and justice being served. Topic for another time. Assemblyman Schmitt joining us live on the program. Thank you very much for shedding light on this issue. You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.